What's up, everybody? We are here with Bree, a castaway from our most recent season, I Survivor 37. She is our second jury member, otherwise coined as the queen of this season's jury. Bree, it's been a day or two since your vote off. How you feeling?
I am feeling great now.
Just free, you don't
um,
have to like talk.
Definitely needed, yeah, to take some time to just decompress, check back into reality, figure out my emotions, and then I'm good.
So you've been super present throughout this season. You had, I feel like, adjusted very well to a different layout, a different type of commitment level and activity level. And it was so heartbreaking knowing that like you didn't get an opportunity to like fight for your life in terms of the
Oh,
immunity. And even if you lost the immunity, you weren't around for that like post challenge strategy time that
right.
everybody's been used to getting during tribal council or before tribal council. um how does it feel to leave that way, and do you think if you were around during that round or that evening or that day that it would have ended up differently?
Well, as you know, it was my parents' 40th, so I couldn't miss it, unfortunately. I couldn't be like, can you reschedule? But um in the end, I think everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. I believe that there were some things that came up and I was addressing it. I think with my honesty, it became more of a threat for some people. So I believe if I was there, I could definitely have a better chance to at least, express my case. But um, I think there was already probably plans in work for that to happen. Um, so I think it just went the way it was supposed to. It seems like to me, even though I was kind of shocked by it, but it is what it is. Here we are.
So let's we'll get back to like the round you were voted out in. I just
Yeah.
wanted to know that, question off the top real quick. But let's rewind back to the start of the game. Have you ever been in a game where it starts with a big Zoom and a bunch of people and you get to see your competitors? How was day one for you? If you
Um,
can think back, I know it's been a while.
yeah, day one, honestly, it felt a little bit awkward because I never been in a game that you had to do live and actually have to talk to people that you normally would probably text in other different type of online games. And so you get to see like emotion, and you get to see, people's faces and connect the name behind with the face. So it's different. I think it's a little more personal, um, which, took some use to get into.
So back on Calico, you were the team that won. Looking back, do you think that was a double-edged sword for Calico winning all the time?
Yes, I definitely believe. I mean, I'm granted everybody likes winning, right? So I'm not gonna knock the winning because the winning was great. But at the same time, I think there was it was less personal. Like you didn't feel like you had to really work for those relationships when you win all the time because you're not in a position of like having to be voted out. So I think for Calico, yes, it was great. We got to get further on in the game than some people, but at the end of the day, when it came down to the smaller numbers, I think that's where it like definitely hurt us because I think those strong bonds like Blackbeard had, we didn't have those, or at least most of us didn't have them. So it was easier to kind of sway back and forth with what you wanted to do in the game.
So early on in Calico, you bonded a lot with Romeo. Tell me a little bit about that dynamic and like how it started and stuff, because y'all were definitely a storyline on the Calico tribe, you know?
Yeah. I freaking love Romeo. I will to this day. I think we just vibe very well. We both kind of got each other's personalities. And we pretty much had like the same type of gameplay in a sense, I think. And it was just easy. It was natural. Definitely natural to build that relationship with him. And he's freaking funny. Like, I love the way he jokes around, and we can have that like candid and catty conversations. So he's great. I loved it.
So from production, obviously, like we see more of the game and the landscape of things than the players in it, right? Is there any regrets back on Calico of like, oh damn, Romeo, we should have done this or we should have done that? Only because I'm saying that because I wanted to see more of the dynamic duo, right? And not that you could have really helped how Food Chain broke Shuck out the round he left. But prior to the round where it was just three of you, like, do you regret it all maybe voting out Venus? Do you regret it all voting out Alex? That, not saying it could have changed Romeo staying or leaving, but did you ever like look back and be like, damn, I wonder if I did this differently, would Romeo still be here? And we would still be playing the game together type of thing.
Looking back, I don't think I would have done anything differently, to be honest. Anytime I vote, I usually vote with intentions. So, even with the Venus vote, that was intentional, obviously, because we all voted for her. But still, I didn't get an opportunity to really know Venus, so I don't know how that could have probably possibly played out in the game if she was here, especially and to help, with me and Romeo. But I don't regret it. Honestly, I don't regret my choices. I don't regret my Alex vote. All my votes, I don't regret. I'm not sure if it would have helped, because I think at that point, people were already, forged in their alliances of whatever they had. So I'm not sure if it would have helped too much, to be honest with you.
I want to tell you how bad production was. I don't know which moderator was in the room that you were last in Food Chain. I don't know.
It was me.
It was Drew, right? Yeah, it was Drew. I cannot tell you, Bree, how we were in, or Drew, like I was in the main room, so I didn't know what was going on unless the mods told me, right? And so Drew said, oh my God, guys, Bree's maybe not going to eat this round. Max is confusing her. She needs to reread her card. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, no, Bree, eat. And I'm watching the time click down. And when you entered the room and he said she didn't eat, I was like, oh my
I was so freaking mad. I'm still mad to this day.
That could have changed the whole outcome of that round.
Yeah,
Really like who was safe, who wasn't safe on Calico. The probability of you being safe, yes. The probability of Julie being safe maybe decreased a little bit,
Yeah, I don't. This is a thing because I can't really put my finger on that one. I don't really know if like Max did it intentionally, because the only reason why I say that is because he literally needed me to survive for him to win. And I don't see him as a type of person to like throw competitions and challenges. So I was like, it didn't make sense. Until this day, it still doesn't make sense to me. But at the end of the day, I'll take the L on that one because I should have definitely understood my role, and I thought I did, but obviously I was convinced otherwise. So I'll take that L, but I still don't get it to this day. I don't understand why that happened, and I don't know if it was purposeful. So who knows? That was probably one of my regrets. Like if I was to say if I had one regret, would be that one. Yeah, I would have ate freaking Max.
Yep.
I would have ate Max so quick.
But I like that. No actual like social strategical regrets, but more of just like a challenge detail regret. I like that.
Yeah.
No regrets on this experience.
None.
Okay, so at this point in the game, Bree, we made the merge, and from my perspective at the start, it really looked like you were in like a prime position. You had the opportunity to stick with Calico, who is in the numbers. You could have stayed 7, or you had the opportunity to be like, okay, deuces with Calico, join up with Blackbeard and essentially be majority there. Not everyone was in that position to be able to swing whichever way they wanted. So you were in a very good position. Did you sense that yourself?
Definitely did. I was, I felt like I was definitely in a good position because I had a bridge between both sides. So I was just trying to figure out what would be best for my game, not necessarily like a Calico Blackbeard game, but what would be best for my game. So as soon as I felt that, to be honest with you, as soon as I felt that, I got voted out the next day. So I was like, oh damn. But yeah, I felt like I was in a good position. I think I had some good social strategy going on there to put me in that position. So yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if JB said it in the jury or he might have said it in his confessional, which I'm exposing him, but it's related to you and the challenge, the round that he went out on, the Texas subjects round. He's like, how does Bree go from like not getting hit, having 7 or whatever arrows at one point in the challenge, to then getting voted out? Okay.
Right.
So,
he said that in a jury.
in the jury, right? Yeah. So from your perspective, and you just said like you were feeling like, oh, okay, I might be in a good spot. So where do you think it went wrong?
Honestly, it went wrong when I started asking about, the miscommunication that was happening against several people in my tribe, which I had a feeling some of them were probably forging a bond with the Blackbeard crew, Max, Rachel, and them. But, me being me, I always have to like be the transparent one. And definitely if I feel like something is wrong or I feel wrong, then I'm going to say something. And I think that kind of got me in the end is being too honest, being too transparent, maybe. So I think that's where it switched, where that happened. But at the same time, I think they were definitely over analyzing who I was targeting. I heard conversation of like, I didn't shoot any arrows at Benji or Taisha, but I also didn't shoot any arrows at Nolita or Zach. So I don't know. I think whoever wanted to have a perception was trying to build a story out of something that I was doing in my actions in that game. So maybe I should have shot more arrows at different folks to make it look like I wasn't targeting as much. But at the end of the day, I think that challenge and the people that were in that challenge were really analyzing who was shooting at who. And I think that kind of bit me in the butt at the end.
I was going to ask a question based off of that. Hold on, it's coming to me. I'm trying to get it. So when you left, I don't want to be disrespectful in that I'm not going to go straight to the meat of it, right? But also the night you left, it was very different in terms of the conversations that were happening before. I don't know if I know you know this, that we didn't actually hold the challenge at 10. We had to pull everybody into a Zoom and talk because it definitely was getting out of hand in that it was reaching a point where people were getting upset and getting their feelings hurt based off of things that they were hearing, right? And if you hear something through the fourth party source, is that necessarily what was said, how it was phrased when it came from the primary source, right? By the time it reached A, B, C, D, E, F. If you're F on the list, you know, what was actually said when it came out of person A's mouth, right? So we did have a conversation, and I'm really sad that you couldn't be there, right? Because I didn't want, if you were the one to leave, I didn't want you to leave without being part of that conversation, without being to hear from other people and state how you felt based on what you heard. And now that you know what or like what was actually said, if you were on that call, right? So I want to apologize. It broke my heart because I don't want you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth from the game based off of one hour of one round. You know what I mean? So do you want to talk about it? Like what you heard, how it made you feel, or not? We can leave it out of this interview and I could cut this out.
No, we could definitely talk about it. I was like, for me, I was approached by Jazz saying that Max, Rachel, Villian, and Nolita were insinuating there was a people of color, or a type of people of color alliance between all the Black people in the game. So instead of me going back and forth with Jazz, I was like, well, I'm going to just ask whoever was in this involved or may have been involved. I'm going to go to them directly. So I didn't get a chance to ask Max or Rachel about it, to be honest with you, because I was going back and forth with Nolita and Villian, but that would have been my next step if I had the opportunity, because I needed clarification for myself. So when I asked Nolita, I messaged her and I said, hey, I'm hearing this, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but to the effect of, you know, your name was involved in targeting me, like pretty much the Black people in the tribe, because you felt like there was a Black alliance. And why are we targeting by race if that's like, it didn't make any sense to me. And I didn't think Nolita was even that type of person to do that. So that's why I asked her. And for us, I felt like she was somewhat of a friend to me in this game. So, you know, as a friend to a friend, if something's bothering you, this is how I am in real life. As if something's bothering me, I'm going to say something and ask about it and get clarification, and then figure out where's the misunderstanding. And then if I need to apologize, I will apologize, especially if I come up and be that type of person that's, you know, insinuating somebody might be saying this. Like, I have no problem apologizing. So I wanted that dialogue, and I did get that dialogue from Nolita. I don't know how much of it she wanted to relay, or maybe felt uncomfortable. Maybe I was too aggressive. I don't know. But I did the same thing with Villian. Villian, I think he was more concerned of like who said it instead of what was being said. That freaking bothered me. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's like, well, who said it? Who said it? Who said it? It doesn't matter who said it. The fact of the matter is, I came to you with something that I felt offended by, and I had your name was in it. So whether it's true or not, let's have that conversation. And if I need to apologize, then I'll apologize. So that kind of annoyed me, I'm be honest with you. And that's where I got a little more disconnected, because I'm like, well, let me calm down, because maybe I'm getting a little too upset right now. And maybe me being too forward is coming off of as something that I'm not, like, aggressive. I'm not an aggressive person. So
To clarify, I don't think you came off aggressive like whatsoever in the slightest.
okay.
So
That was the only thing that I was conscious of, is like, okay, how do I approach this without me looking like I'm being this person trying to attack somebody? And it's kind of a fine balance to try to figure out, because I don't, especially if you're feeling offended. So I was trying to take my emotions out of it. And I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't work out for my favor. So, I mean, it's hard for me not to be me. I mean, I would have done this with anybody in the real life. So
Is that what you look for now that as a jury member, somebody who can play the game but also remain true to who they are?
Yes. Is it everything that I look for as far as someone that's in the finals? No, because if you played a good game, you played a good game. Um, I mean, there is going to be a level of, you know, lying or being false or in this game who's in the finals.
Now you were in an alliance or at least a group chat, mathematicians with Taisha, Jazz, you and Benji. This was the what could have been like the diffuse, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the breaking down of the Calico mentality strong, the Blackbeard mentality strong. And you sort of mentioned it in the challenge that somebody or word on the street was, oh, so and so didn't hit so and so, didn't hit so and so. And not only based on that challenge, but possible conversations that the four of y'all were having with other people. Do you think that y'all let on that y'all were working together?
I think it could be definitely interpreted like that, especially after that last challenge. Uh, you know, I didn't anticipate, you know, Taisha and Benji not taking one of my arrows, to be honest with you. I wasn't looking at it like that. The way I was playing that game was, okay, well, if I want this certain person out, then I'm not going to give them an opportunity to go to the next level of that challenge. So that's how I was looking at it. I wasn't looking at it in an alliance sense, like, oh, I'm not going to take an arrow from Benji because he's in my alliance, or I'm not going to take one from whoever because they're in my alliance. The two people that I was taking from, or no, three, was Villian, Max, and JB. Those were the three people that if I could see go out, please let them go out. So those were my targets.
So now you're on the jury. 8 people are left. Who do you want to see be successful and why?
I still want to see Jazz be successful because I feel like she is playing this game with her whole heart. Um, I just I just hope that she doesn't get manipulated by people who can come off as like maybe genuine but not really. Um, and I
Who's
also,
like that? If you had to pinpoint somebody,
if I had to pinpoint someone, I would say I think Benji's probably playing both sides now that I'm looking at, like reflecting on conversations. He's really good at social. Like his social is pretty much on the same level as my social, maybe more than that because he's still in the game. But he's really good at connecting with people. So I think he's playing both sides, which is I can't take that from him because I mean he's playing the game. So I just don't want her to feel like I don't know. I feel a little protective of her a little bit. So I don't want her to feel like she
you
was,
don't want her to be taken advantage of.
yeah, or being betrayed or something like that. That's one person I'm very concerned about. The other person would be Zach. Even though I know that he will stay true to whoever he might be aligned with, he's a good player. Like he's really a good player. All opinions aside, he knows how to play this game. So if I see him in the end or see Joss in the end, I would be happy with those two choices.
Based on your experiences with these players, who is somebody that, at least right now, and it may change, it may not, but like in this moment, who's somebody that like you're gonna enjoy, me snuffing their George. Not to say that like that's a bad thing, but like you just don't want them to win based on your experiences. Like you're gonna enjoy when they're at the
Oh, my frenemy Villian.
yeah. Oh, the age-old story of Brian.
My frenemy, he's my frenemy, man. I think we'd probably be cool outside of this game, but who knows? I know he was after me. I'm not naive to that. Like I know. I got his vibe a long time ago. So if Villian left, that would definitely give me a little side smirk, but I don't know. He's working it, so who knows?
So now the game or your time playing the game is over. You're still a jury member, obviously, but what are you going to take away from your time in Port Royal?
I'm definitely taking away, for me, the biggest thing was just being true to yourself. I mean, that's as much as you can. I think I definitely tried to do that in this game. I love the people that I met in this game, good or bad. I mean, they definitely made me hone into my inner patience for some of them. So I think I think I grew a lot of patience in this game, to be honest with you, and then stepping out of my own comfort zone because, as you know, this is not my realm of like doing live or games, things like that. So this is the start and the beginning of maybe a new chapter in which I will explore it more. So definitely enjoy the game. Definitely enjoy the production team. You guys are amazing. You guys put a lot of time in this game, and you could tell. You could definitely tell. Um, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to take out of this is just being true to yourself and, be ready for new things and be open for new adventures.
Love that. And my final question is, now that you've had this experience, what would your immediate advice be to future iSurvivor players? Like if I made an advertisement snippet of all people's advice, like what would you want your advice to be for future viewers and newbie castaways?
I would say make those connections because that will definitely save you in this game. Like especially if your strength is not, winning challenges, people will save you. People will save you if they like you. So whatever that looks like to you, try to be as genuine as possible. Because it definitely helps in making those connections. And that's my advice. I mean, you gotta make connections with people because that will take you further in the game than winning challenges, in my opinion. So
Great advice. I lied. I do have one more question.
okay.
Not saying it's tomorrow, not saying it's even in the near future, but if Rocky, Drew, Gwen, or I or Val came crawling up in your inbox saying, hey, knock
in my DMs.
sliding up in there saying, hey girl, you wanna play again? Would you ever consider playing not even iSurvivor, maybe just an I1 entertainment game again?
I sure would, especially how I see you guys operate over here. I'm like, you got this thing on lock. No, I definitely would. I had so much fun. And, kudos to Rocky.
Rocky did that.
Rocky did that because I was like, why? What kind of game is this?
Mm-hmm. Why are you
all the time? So Rocky did that, but now that I experienced it, I definitely would do another iSurvivor game or an online game. I had so much fun. I can't even express. Even through the bad times, it was still a good experience for me. So I'm happy.
Love to hear that. I'm smiling so big right now. I'm cheesing. Drew and Gwen, I see that y'all here. Did you have a question that maybe I didn't ask that you've been wanting to ask Bree?
Well, you took it from me, but first off, hey, Queen Bree.
Hey. Hi,
I'm
Drew.
so sad to. Yes, hey, I'm so sad to see you out.
I know, especially when it's quiet in there, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorites. So I'm sad that you are out, but I just want to say I loved watching you play, and it's music to my ears that you would want to play again because you definitely are one of the stars of the season. So just wanted to say that to you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I don't think I have any questions. It was a pleasure watching you. I do have to say, as soon as I hopped on the Zoom, I did not want to interrupt Sandy, but you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Gwen.
Retweet.
Thank you.
But yeah, it was just a pleasure watching you play. I think you just have your perspective is unique, and I think that comes from, you know, coming from a different community, and it's always so fun to watch people who are newer to the more like long-term games that, you know, have video and all that. So it really was a pleasure watching you play.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I mean, I love you guys are funny. I'll be honest with you. You guys are the most funniest production team. I'm like, these guys really just said that right now. But I had a great time, and I appreciate it. And thank you guys for all your encouragement throughout the whole game and keeping me uplifted, especially when, you know, I'm feeling some type of way. And you guys definitely drew out of me a great experience and getting me out of my comfort zone. So I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, guys.
You thank us, and we thank you, because we can create this game and have all these ideas, but we don't get the experience without people like you actually being present and being there and talking and putting it in and showing up for the lives and competing. So as much as you thank us for creating this, we would just have ideas if it weren't for people like you, and specifically people like you who like are recruited. They don't go out of their way to apply or already know about this. So coming from absolutely no idea what the hell she was getting into, like, from the bottom of my heart, Bree, it has been such a pleasure. I'm so grateful, and yeah, I hope you had a great time, and we were all literally rooting for you so hard.
Oh, thanks.
On production, Bree Stan.
Thanks. I definitely got further than I thought. I was like, wow, I'm still here. So so that was kind of awesome.
Single digit. Can't be mad about that.
I'm like, wow, I made jury now. Okay. So yeah, I had a great
make sure
time.
you make sure that everybody's aware you are the queen of that jury. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be going back and forth with JB.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys.
It's been a pleasure, Bree. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thanks, Bree.
Obviously, we are going to tag jury. You don't have to show up for every tribal council, but you are free.
Oh, I'm gonna show up.
Yeah, you're free to show up, show your face, give them all the facial reactions to everything, you know? And
they can see my face.
Yeah, and we will see you definitely at the finale. Get your jury question ready.